Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, the seekers and sojourners of truth. 144, the chosen of the chosen few. You know who you are. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Aquila Textry in the divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from the fifth dimension. 5D consciousness speaks. And today, got a lot to talk about, so let me get my chap gloss on, because these lips got a lot to chop it up about, right? It's not lip gloss, it's not chapstick, so I'm calling it chap gloss, right? So, happy full moon, lunar eclipse, full moon in Libra. Shout out to all the Libras, whether it is a Libra, if Libra is your sun sign or your moon sign, but more specifically to the people whose moon sign is Libra, because this is your commemoration. This is you coming into your higher evolved aspects of your moon sign, right? And the moon sign is your inner world. Your sun sign is your outer world. So I always say, like, the moon sign is really like in the core of your inner world, your true sign. So sometimes when you meet people and they don't look like what their sun sign is, or they don't, maybe because they're more stronger in their moon sign, right? And so every time the moon comes around, you get a full moon in your sign. It's a chance to tap more into your inner world, tap into your moon and what you are here for in your moon sign. But anywho, this full moon is definitely bringing some stuff. I know I'm a little bit late. I wanted to do this over the weekend, but it was busy, and I just said I'm going to get in when I get in, right? I'm in the middle of my workshop, and the workshop is 7 days. I spoke about it here on one of the videos, dropped a video about it. There's someone here from YouTube. There's someone, I remember that, I'm not sure if you got the email, but email me again, because I couldn't see it in, you know, the other emails that were coming in. So if you're still interested, it's not too late. We have 3 days left. We have today, tomorrow, the day after. We're on our upper chakras, right? Once we're on the full moon, we're on our heart. So now we're on the throat chakra on up. So if you're still interested, like I tell people, you don't have to be here from the beginning. So we are on our throat. And so I want to get into discussing a little bit about this full moon. It is encompassing. It is really allowing us to put on those focals, if you will, put on those bifocals, put on your binoculars, your telescope, whatever you got to do to really take a closer look, an introspective look into what this moon is bringing. And an eclipse is always full moon on 10, right? And we're in eclipse season. We're in that little ecliptic window, which is right now and leading even up to the new moon that's going to be coming up, that I really want to talk about that on another clip. But it's a total, this one was a penumbra, which is a partial, and the other one is going to be a total new moon in Aries, new moon eclipse, right? Solar eclipse, right? And the difference, for those who don't know, ooh, beautiful flower just caught my eye. The lunar eclipse right now that we've just had is when a lunar eclipse is when the sun, think of it like, well, the earth is between the sun and the moon. So lunar, meaning moon, is when the lunar or the moon is being eclipsed. So think of it in that way. And that's always during a new moon. A full moon, because with a full moon it's opposition, right? And when the sun and the moon are in total opposition, we are in between, the earth is in between. So depending on the position as they're going around, depending on the position that it is in, which is usually lined up somewhere with the nodes. All eclipses are affiliated with the nodes. So wherever the eclipse is, if you notice, whenever there's an eclipse, it is aligned with the nodes, the north node and the south node, which right now our north node and south node is in Aries and Libra. North node in Aries, south node is in Libra. So the eclipse is, let's say, highlighting and amplifying the nodes, and this eclipse is really highlighting what these nodes have come in to bring us. So it actually started about 6 months ago, but because it had just shifted in July from the nodes axis being on Taurus and Scorpio, it had shifted in July, so it wasn't quite there yet. So right now it's actually full moon and new moon in this ecliptic position, right? So anyway, let me get back to when there is the eclipse, the lunar eclipse. The earth is in between and it casts a shadow over the moon. Therefore you have a lunar eclipse. The sun's light, which usually has to hit the moon to illuminate, the moon is a reflection of the sun of the light of the sun, the son of the light. Wow, that sounds nice. Who is the son of the light? I am. But it's being blocked, so it's in that shadow, right? So this is happening during a full moon while they're in opposition. Now when there is a new moon, it is the moon that is in the middle. It's in between us, the earth, and the sun. So therefore, depending on where the position is, it will block the sun. So we, because of the vision, it's all perception, because the moon is smaller, but because it's closer to us when it's there in a certain position, it is blocking the sun. So this one is going to be a total eclipse blocking it. So that is a little talk say on the eclipse and the power that it brings. And most importantly, what I like people to know is that the eclipse is aligned with the nodes. So keep a watch on these nodes. When the nodes shift, you're going to see that the eclipse will line up wherever the nodes are. The next eclipse from now will be 6 months from now when we are in sun sign Libra, and the full moon is going to be in Aries. So that's 6 months opposite from now. We're going to have another eclipse. So for right now, let's discuss this eclipse right here and what it's saying to us, our 5D people, those of us who are shifting into 5D. Because you know, as usual, I come to bring you the news to infuse if you so choose. So let's infuse, let's light up, and let's infuse with the light and see what this is saying to us. For those of us who are entering into the new age, the Aquarian age, who are building up our society to be prepared for the golden age. And truth be told, the golden age never really leaves us, but we become further disconnected from it. That's a whole nother story. But I digress. So let me get into this. What is this full moon, new moon, full moon saying? I mix it up sometimes. Full moon, new moon. Full moon eclipse. Well, for one, this is a powerful full moon lunar eclipse in Libra as our social dynamics. It's really speaking on our social dynamics as our social dynamics are coming up for a full review. It's time for a review. Remember, the full moon is like a culmination of some things. And this is giving us a full review of what has been happening, especially with the social dynamics. And I'm going to speak about those dynamics. Why is it social? What are we looking at? What is it with the south node and the north node? And what is it having us do? The eclipse amplifies whatever it is that we're supposed to do while these nodes are here, right? For us at a personal level as well as a collective, you know, interpersonal as we interact with each other. So our social dynamics are coming up for a full review as our south node. Let me make sure I block that. No interruptions. As our south node in Libra calls for balance and justice from our past social challenges to be rectified and resolved within our inner world, right? Remember, full moon, inner world, or moon sign. Either way, the moon is always about our inner world. So Libra, being that we have the moon and we have our south node in Libra, and the south node is where we're coming from, just so we have an understanding. South node is where we're coming from, north node is where we're going. So our south node being in Libra, we're seeing where we're coming from when it comes to social relationships, because Libra is about the we. Aries is about the me, and Libra is about the we. So where we're coming from, what have we been doing? How have we been engaging, right? How have we been dealing with our feelings and interactions with others? So the justice that has to be served, right? The balance, ma'at, weighing the I think laws of Ma'at, or Ma'at, weighing the heart and a feather. So it's time for justice to be served. And keep in mind, to help this out, we have Saturn. While all this is happening, Saturn is in Pisces, which is something that I've been talking about, because Saturn is the Lord of karma, as just as Pisces is the house of karma. So the Lord of karma inside the house of karma is doing its sweep. It's doing its thing right there, bringing accountability, right? It's time for justice to be served. And it doesn't have to be in the bad way. That's the thing. A lot of people think, oh, karma, this is bad. And this is, I don't know about you, but this is a beautiful time for me. It's a beautiful time for people like myself, those of us who are entering into the new earth, the 5D new earth. This is giving us a time to do what we need to do to enter into that new earth, because I always say we're not going to be able to cross those dimensional timelines. This is about quantum leaping. This is about crossing dimensional lines, you know, the different dimensions that we are in, the timelines. We are shifting out of the old and into the new. So it's not that, you know, the earth is going to die away and we're all here. We're just expanding. The 3D consciousness is expansion into 4D, into 5D, as the earth shifts gears and the frequencies speed up. So all of this cosmic dance that we have going on, this is why I like to talk about the stars, the cosmos, because it helps us understand, as it is a map to our soul of what it is that's happening, and we're kicking up gears. So this is really a benefit to us, that brings us to get off of the karmic wheel. Some of our souls have been recycling past life. We've had multiple lives, and this that we're in, first of all, it's a good time to be on the earth at this time, during this experience, during the 5D shift. That is like a super calibration, so to speak, or to really catapult us forward, to take leaps and bounds in our soul's ascensions. While we're here to take advantage of that. So understanding these cosmos are helping us do what we need to do to shift gears, to shift into this 5th gear. So the karma, don't look at it as anything bad. It's not here to get you. It is to give you what you deserve. So we have to ask ourselves, what have we been doing to get what it is that is showing up in our life? If you know you've been sowing the right things, then this is what you're going to get. It's time for the payout. It's all energy. It's energy recycling itself. So it's a chance to clear our karmic debts, right? Whether good, bad, ugly, however you want to look at it. Even if you've been doing bad things, it's still a good thing, because you get an opportunity for it to come up so you can deal with it and clear it. We're all about clearing things now. So, but that depends on how you look at things. For some people, as they're going through things, it may not feel so good. As a matter of fact, it doesn't, you know, even as I am going through, and because everyone has something they need to work on, so it brings some of those things up, and so it's like fine-tuning and getting up the little particles and things like that. So for me, it's an excitement. Whenever the eclipse comes, it's like, woo, you know, full moon on 10, let's go. What is it going to show me? How is it going to help me level up in this ecliptic season, which is 18 months of being in Libra and Aries? What am I going to get out of these 18 months? Every time the eclipse comes within these 18 months, it's an opportunity to get something and one up. So take full advantage of that, as it brings us an opportunity to unwind out of that and level up. So this is when it comes to that, social challenges. Let me get back to that. Social challenges will come up. So you have to think about what that looks like for you. Okay, social challenges are going to come up, to be rectified, to be resolved. Things that have been there, like we can't move forward if we're holding this old stuff, old soot on our soul. So it has to be dealt with. So it may not feel nice. It's going to be with family, with friends. It could be at work. It's how you interact socially. How have you been regulating your emotions? You know, this is something we spoke about in the workshop on the heart chakra, because the heart is the regulator of your emotions. So how are you regulating your emotions? How have you been doing it before? Have you been hiding your feelings? When things come up, do you bury them, or do you think you deal with them, but really you're burying the important parts? You're not dealing with it. And one thing I had to mention in my workshop was that just because you don't acknowledge your feelings don't mean they go away, right? You can either take the time to get into the feelings and get the message, or allow the feelings to feel you. And this is when we get overwhelmed, consumed by our feelings. Don't allow this energy to consume you, right? Because some people get real fearful. Like, I heard someone else talking about it, the fear factor, the fear mongering, and it's nothing to be scared of, but everything to want to embrace with this full moon and what it has to bring. The only thing that's feeling like such a coming to an end is the way you used to handle things, and that's a good thing, right? The way we used to do things in a way that does not benefit us, those are the things that need to fall away and shift. So these social challenges are coming up to give us an opportunity to clear off. So whatever it is, ask yourself, how does this affect me? How have I dealt with it in the past? And what is it that I need to do differently? Because we need to learn from what the South Node is bringing us. Usually the dance with the South Node, North Node, is what the South Node is bringing up, is showing us we need to deal with this. It's giving us the opportunity while it's in that sign of what and how we need to deal with it. Right? And then it's once we do and it gets rectified and resolved, then it catapults us into the forward movement of where the North Node is. The North Node is where we want to be heading, the trajectory that we want to be heading, of course, in the evolved aspects of that sign. So the evolved aspects of Aries, we're having this opportunity right now, this 18 months, let me say this, to really take advantage as a collective and clear up the past imprints from the age of the ram, which was in Aries, right? We have Chiron in Aries, that is the wounded healer, and it's helping us to really clear up a chunk of mess from thousands of years ago, because we're talking age of the ram is about 4,000 years away, because every 2,000 and so 2,000, about 2,000 years for us to go through an age, and in that sense, for that age, right? And so we're getting an opportunity to clear up the shadow aspects, because this world has taken on so much of the shadow aspects of the age of the ram, the conquering, the patriarchal rule, the egoic, the shadows of the ego, because not all the ego is bad, but the egoic design that comes out of the shadows. We're no longer needing to conquer each other. So even in social dynamics, the competition, the heartless competition, right? Any competition brings about a certain type of dynamic that we don't need. We don't need to compete with others, because we're all here to have fun and enjoy life and embrace each other's and have compassion, sharing with one another. And so this is a dynamic that we want to get to, and we want to scratch all of those old wounds that we've been carrying from the age of the ram within our blood, from our ancestors, from the dogma and the trauma of what the ancestors have done. We're here to clear that, while the North Node is in Aries, that is asking us to gain the evolved aspect of Aries, right? I know this is a lot, but this is why it's so beautiful. For those of us who know it's given us that opportunity to shake it off of ourselves, because we all carry some of that, right? We come in here with certain past imprints from our personal soul, and then even when we come here on this earth, there's a collective imprint that has been sitting here, a collective conscious that either builds or tear downs or it tears down what has been here. And this is a time of tearing down old constructs in order to build the new. So it's really given us that opportunity. I can't stress that anymore, but please look into it. See what it means for you at a personal level, in your bloodline, in your inherent history, in your race, because we all have a part. There's levels to it in your race, and as a total globally with humanity, there's tiers to it. But always start with self first. Self, family, community, race, and humanity, right? So all types of social dynamics. So you're going to see all kind of upheavals. You're going to see petty arguments. I've heard where there is a lot of senseless killing right now that is happening. It's all part of the process, right? It's all part of the cleansing. The earth is cleansing itself. So it's just part of the process. Some people are transitioning through these processes. Um, it's unfortunate, of course, at our humans' eyes, but spiritually speaking and according to the earth, it's the earth is saying, as the earth turns, as she turns, and as the world turns into her 5D, this is what is happening, right? So we're looking for resolve in our inner world, right? And in order to bring, we're doing this in order to bring, as I was saying, our outer world with the sun in Aries to the higher order of respect for self as an individual, with all due respect for the collective, yet without the need for the collective's approval. So that is ultimately where we want to get, however that shows up in your dynamic. So it's really for the self. It's for to be in a higher order with respect for yourself. So knowing your sovereignty, knowing who you are, having a high esteem, self-confidence in self, so that you don't get lost in the shadows of society. So you have the strength to continue to break out of the shadows of the old collective consciousness. It takes individual strength to know your true individuality, to do that, and with all due respect for the collective. So not putting down others either, but yet knowing that you don't need their approval. So those who need to break out of their families, out of religious constructs, you don't need the approval of anybody's religion. You don't need the approval of any family member. You need no approval, right? But with all due respect for yourself, most importantly, what is good for you, and respect for others, right? This is hinging on the healing that Chiron brings to bridge us over to evolved states of individuality, right? For the evolved states of individuality in our North Node, with the trifecta meetup in Aries. And that trifecta is Chiron, North Node, and the Sun. The Sun has come to really highlight that, bring it all to the outer world. So the way that we have been, the moon being our inner world, the way that we have been interacting in our social dynamics, we're being asked to highlight it, deal with it, and bring it into the outer world, right? The things that need to be healed in the outer world as it shows up. So as we embark on this journey, because we're all on it together, the full moon in Libra shifts into our social dynamics, as our South Node in Libra brings the challenges that we need, as I said, to rectify and resolve. This highlight, it's a highlight in our shadow working feature. So those of us who are shadow working, this is highlighting this for us, that allows for the healing of the old bruised ego within the social complex to evolve to a mature state of individuality with our North Node, right? Again, with the North Node and Chiron in Aries, as the sun joins them and brings it out into the outer world. So the eclipse is making a grand entrance, right? It's making a grand entrance and playing such a key role in our shift over, in amplifying our social dynamics, and the importance of transcending our interrelational, individual and collective challenges, right? To bring the justice and the harmony that we need to ascend to the next level. It's all about the soul ascension, right? We're gaining an opportunity, as I said earlier, to transmute, transform, and transmit our light into the highest vibration of our soul. That is such a beautiful thing. This is how we have to look at it. So no matter what you're going through, it's giving you that opportunity to highlight that to the highest vibration of our soul. So I invite us to go in and look at that. And let's not forget where Pluto is. Pluto is in Aquarius, which is also why I want to add to that, is so that we understand the social dynamic, where it is helping as it's entering an Aquarius, and it's going to be there for the next 20 years. After it retrogrades one more time, it's going to be there for the next 20 years. And I really see and feel where Pluto is like ushering us in. It's like cosmically, it's helping to usher us in into the age of the Aquarius, because it's about revelations, revealing to us what needs to happen in the sign of Aquarius, like the social dynamic, the humanitarianism aspect of it, innovations, things like that. But we have to really see it's about power to the people. It's about transformation, death to rebirth. So there's a lot going on with Pluto being there as well. And Pluto being in that sign, while it's in Aquarius, it's almost like there is a trine. There's a, I don't know if they call it a grand trine, I got to look into it, but there's a trine with whatever is in Libra. So it's trined with Libra and Gemini, but nothing's really in Gemini right now. Is there? Nope. Uranus and Jupiter is still in Taurus, so it's not quite in Gemini, but it's trined with whatever is in Libra. So with Pluto being there, it's almost like it has a nice, beautiful trine with the South Node and the Moon sign. So that inner world that's allowing you to take a closer look again at Pluto. And so it's almost like a little taste, a little reminder of where we were a couple months ago when Pluto was squared with the nodes, right? While it was in Taurus and Scorpio, and as it entered into Libra and Aries, it was squared with the node all for a couple of months. I believe it came out of that square in about January, somewhere around that time, right around the time that it entered into Aquarius. So it's like we get a little taste of that little dance with Pluto and the node, specifically with the South Node. So it's highlighting that, and the South Node is about the we. So we have this expansional look at the we and the social dynamic. So really take a closer look into how we have been behaving, and it shows up differently for all of us. How have things been affecting you? And so it's just inviting you to look at it, for you to be able to transcend it and be able to go about things differently, for us to evolve to that love frequency and get to the next level in our, with the social responsibility that we have to remove ourselves from these shadows and the old constructs. This is a part of it. This is, as much as it may be annoying to some people, it's a part of the dance for us to shift out of it and move forward. It's a beautiful time. So allow yourself to take whatever is coming up. Take the potency of that full moon eclipse and move it along forward into the next part, which is also preparing us for the total eclipse. And as we just came out of the respiriting season, winter season, aka the heart chakra season, we're being given a chance to look at elevating our heart, bringing our heart into a higher, heart activation, and carrying that. If you have done the work over that 3 months, the respiriting and everything, you're able to be in your higher heart. So now you can see what's on your heart with this eclipse that is preparing you for what is to come. And we're going to feel the effects of this eclipse for even all the way to the end of April, leading into maybe into May. So give it some time, be patient with yourself, and give it some time as you adjust to these frequencies and the cosmic dance of what's happening and shifting in your life. This great cosmic shift in the eclipse under the authority or the lookout of the eclipse, right? So allow yourself to embrace that, especially if you're hearing this for the first time. Welcome aboard if you're waking up. Welcome to the 5D, all of that good stuff. This is a part of the 5D frequencies, right? So with that, right before I go, I'm going to close out, but something that I never got to share before, my cards pulling, which I pulled, this is for the waxing phase leading up to the full moon. And I don't know, it may be important, it may help someone out, so I'm going to go through it really quick. It's a 3-card pull, and so the first card is usually where we are at that time while we were waxing, and the second card is what needs to be done, and the third card is our outcome. So this is how, as I was shuffling and it came out, so I just let it be, and I thought it was really interesting. So broken heart, right? This is a broken heart. Break your heart wide open. This is where we are. And the moon card that goes with that is saying that to be bold. So we need to be in a place. This is waxing up to this full moon. So see what resonates for you. Broken open is where we are. It's a heart chakra card. Break it open to unbreak your heart. That means really get in your heart, crack it open, get in there and see, and be bold. It takes boldness to face what's in your heart, what we've been holding in our heart. So this is the bold place that we were at. And the second one is, this is the action step. It's telling us expose and reveal. And this is a solar plexus card, right? Show the world the real you. Expose and reveal. So this is what needs to be done. We need to take the revelation that Pluto has been showing us, as I've been saying, and be willing to expose, removing any shame, because the solar plexus, the block of the solar plexus is usually shame. So take that shot glass of shame, like I said. Don't let it hit you. Just take the shot glass and be like, okay, let's look at that. What's this shame about? Don't let it hold you back. Be willing to reveal some things deep within. So this means we got to allow ourselves to be vulnerable as well. That's a sacral chakra thing, allowing yourself to feel and be vulnerable. But it helps with the solar plexus. When you allow yourself to feel, then you can see what needs to be revealed, right? And so the moon card that goes with that is saying, show the world the real you. Show the world the real you means expose and reveal, show the real you, so that you know what is what, so that you're bringing to the forefront for you. And it's not for everybody else, but at the same time, do not let a fear stop you. Fear of what somebody else may think, feel. Who cares? This is your journey, right? So don't let the fear of what others may think of you, or even the fear of what you within yourself may think. That prude you. The prude part that's like, I don't want nobody to see that. I want to look like I'm on top of everything. No. Let's take that beam out of our eyes, take out any blockages, and put it on the front table. Whatever is coming up, lean into it a little bit more and say, you know what? I want to talk about this. Even if you don't want to talk about it with nobody, talk about it with yourself. Write it down, journal, do whatever you need to do to get it up. Look in the mirror and speak to yourself. And ask yourself, what is it that is coming up? What is it I need to expose and reveal? Because Pluto is definitely highlighting. It's been doing it. It's been playing. Pluto's been playing a key part, especially after it shifted in January. And that's when it's really been calling us into this energy from the whole social dynamic. This ain't nothing new. Don't let the eclipse pop up on you and be like, boo. No, you've already been highlighted some things. But the eclipse is just giving you the power and the boost now to deal with it. It's really bringing it up. So, full moon, and it's a full moon in Aquarius card. So, who's in Aquarius? Pluto. But this one is saying show the real you. So, if you do that, the outcome would be, wish upon a star. And this is a third eye card. So asking you to look beyond, your outcome would be that you will be able to achieve those visions, those dreams. This is also about committing to those dreams. You're bringing it into practicality, notice she's holding the star and bringing it into her heart. So this wish upon a star is not a flimsy wish in the wind, but it's faith. It's that faith type of wishing, because the third eye is about having a very strong faith to see beyond what you see with these two eyes. So in this now moment, being able, when you allow yourself to expose and reveal, and you get past that, it's going to bring you to a space of relief where you'll be able to bring into practicality those things that you have envisioned. Those are those daydreams, your visions, the things you've been holding, the things that have been shown to you and revealed. Because I know some of you have been seeing some visions, you've been seeing some things, and you're probably wondering how. This is not to worry about the how. This is what trust and faith is, right? It's just about worry about your business. Worry about what you need to do in exposing and revealing, and let everything else unfold onto itself. And soon you'll be holding that star that you thought was once a distance out there, your pure potential coming into alignment, right? And the card that also, moon card that goes parallels with that. Usually I have a moon card that goes with my oracle deck, because they usually parallel each other. It just does all the time. I can't make it up. So this says the end of a tough cycle approaches, right? Full moon in Capricorn, which if you look at it again in regards to Pluto, Pluto came out of Capricorn and engaged in Aquarius now. And it's that end of a tough cycle, what we've been toiling with, what we've been feeling, especially in the last couple months of 2023 at the end of it, because we're seeing the shifting as Pluto is shifting between Capricorn and dipping back and forth in Capricorn, the final degrees of Capricorn, and entering into the first degrees, the 0 and first degrees of Aquarius. So we're entering into that. So this kind of shows that the end of that cycle is it's approaching. We're getting there, you know, not quite there, but we're getting there. And so my suggestions to you, we may feel some urges right now to do something. Do not jump out of the building into the fire, or the pan into the fire, however you look at it. Whatever urges we're feeling, it's to do at a conscious level, right? To get a hold of it in your mind. We have to work things out in our mind and then start to sort it out. Don't be so quick to leave that relationship, jump out of that job, unless it's completely toxic and you have to, you know, remove yourself immediately. But if it's something that you can observe for a minute, kind of observe that until the dust settles around, like I said, the end of April. You'll see the dust settle and you'll have a clearer vision of what it is that you need to do, right? And for some of us, we may need to wait maybe another year, maybe a couple of months before actually making that big decision type move. So look at what type of moves you're being called to do. If it's something minor, maybe it can be done. If it's something major, give it some time, give it some thought, and just make sure you organize the thoughts in your mind. I'm not saying don't do it, but do it up here first. Make it all right up here, because we're shifting gears and everything starts in the mind. So take your time, right? With that said, I'm going to close out. This is the first time I've incorporated some cards. I'm going to do more of that. So let me know if this is something that you like or enjoyed. If you want me to do more envisioning, give more insights with the cards, I can do that. But let me know, you know, just message, like, subscribe, share, comment. Remember, the more you do that, the more it gets out there to others, to like-minded soul tribers, other sojourners. Where are my sojourners? Let's journey together. You are not alone, right? We're all on this, you know, journey, this soul journey. So thank you for tuning in to the 5D consciousness. Welcome all aboard. Allow these cosmos to work with you, and don't let any fear block you. We transcend all fear into love, because love conquers all. Really, I'm not just saying that. Nothing counteracts fear like love. So beautifully said. I love you all. Enjoy the rest of your full moon eclipse, because we're still feeling the energies 3 days before, 3 days after, when it's most potent. So continue to enjoy what's coming up for you. Journal, write, make the right choices, and choose to infuse with the light. With that said, each one reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out, and be the candle that lights the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Peace, love, and light.